Your friend, tell a friend, share the stream. We're also joined by young Chris in the TD Blue on the ones and twos. That's true on the ones and twos is our guy, Wavy J.
Let's
In
go.
the building. I appreciate your time.
Yo, what's the deal?
Let's go, baby. Hey,
Let's go.
I don't have headphones, so you have to talk loud. Jay, you have to talk loud.
I might have some extras in a bag over here. We can get you on break.
All right, we'll do it on break.
Let's go.
How you feeling, Nick? Second start?
Second start, I'm way less nervous than last time. I'm more excited this time. I mean, last time I was definitely excited, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. I was usually in the sound booth, started as an intern. Second time on the desk, I'm fired up. We got a packed show, lots of Lions talk. I know Chris is breaking down some Tinder Pistons later for some free agents and some trades. Packed show, a lot of Lions as well, so I'm fired up about it. Let's go.
Yes, sir. You live downtown, Nick.
I do.
Did you make it to the concert last night?
I did not.
You're a concert goer. If people don't know, Nick attends a lot of concerts.
I do like going to concerts. I was actually extremely sad that I missed out on this event.
Did you just forget or what?
I did not know until about 4 o'clock, so I guess that's deducting some Detroit points there. But everything I heard, it was an absolute blast. I saw some people at the restaurant below my apartment who went and had a great time. And they said Eminem came out and even performed, so that type as well.
To be fair, I think it was like a little invite-only type situation. I'm not sure that everybody...
Was it? So I got to get my clout up, is what you're saying.
I think something like that. I mean, I don't know. Chris, you waved your hand like you knew.
It was like a benefit concert, and what they did is they announced it on like Tuesday. They announced it on Tuesday, and it was like tickets were on sale, and they were sold out in like they were free, but they were like on sale, and they sold out in like 30 seconds, and then like people, some people resold them and whatever, but. Yeah, so it's just like one of those short thrown together concerts, or short notice to the public rather. But it was awesome, man. Like Diana Ross looked incredible. Like me and my mother were watching Diana Ross because her favorite song ever in all of life is "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." Like, so she watched her kill that. It was dope, man. It was dope. She's turning. I think she just turned 80, or she's turning 80 next year. But she's like. To perform that good at that age was like impressive. So it was dope. It was all genres of Detroit, everything. It was sweet. Big Sean killed it. Eminem killed it. Common came in from Chi-Town.
Yeah, that was I was
Village.
I was surprised with that, but I'm sure Ain't No Mountain High Enough was absolutely electric there. I would have had to thank everybody in the crowd singing it.
Oh, dude, it was. That was the one that got
everybody
going. And she was first, and my mom was like, probably because she's the one that wants to go to sleep early. I'm like, yeah, probably, because you would have closed with that. I mean, Diana Ross, come on, man, legend.
Yo, so like, this was what channel was this on? It was on TV, you said?
Yeah, it was on Local 4. Local 4, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, no, it was dope.
Yeah, it kind of. I feel like it went a little bit like viral. I saw like accounts posted that aren't necessarily in Detroit accounts.
Because there's so much talent, musical talent in Detroit. Like people forget, you got Motown, and again, there was people like Common that were from Chicago that came through. But you got Slum Village, you got Big Sean, you got Eminem, you got like so many artists of so many different generations and styles and eras. It was Jack White was there, like. It was just a really dope collection of talent, and and it showcased what Detroit is really about and Detroit's musical roots.
How'd the Central Station look? Was that looking?
It looked sick from everything I saw.
Yeah,
It looked good over the TV, and then from every picture that I've seen, it looked well lit up. Obviously the crowd was amazing. I'm really salty that I missed it, to be honest. I'm pretty disappointed, but obviously NBA Finals on last night. There was a lot going on in the sports world. So,
yes, sir. Oh. Because we're definitely going to talk about the finals. You guys know we're talking about the finals. No spinny here, so a little more basketball talk than normal. Although, that's one of his favorite sports. He gets too emotional when we talk about the Pistons, man.
He does.
But at the same time, rest in peace, Pistons. Real quick, before we can move on to the rest of the show, I want to get out of the way because Dan Campbell gave him his fair due of respect. He signed off. Michael Hare retiring.
The GOAT.
Yeah, one of the GOATs. Covering Detroit Lions for a long time. I believe he started like 97.
77.
77?
I think, 90. Yeah, it was way more than 97.
Holy shit. 70s. I mean, I'm not questioning it. He's up there. I don't know. And
I think
obviously
he's
Dan
like
Campbell
70 something.
Dan Campbell talked about him serving in the military and everything too.
Yeah, they said he did like.
Never would know.
He did like 60 something years, didn't he?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, he did like
I remember hearing something about that. But yeah, props to Mike O'Hara. Obviously, like, what an absolute legend doing it that long. You've seen, everything from Barry Sanders retiring to, the whole Stafford era. Trading, the biggest player,
It was
biggest quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard 97 when he said it for some reason.
And then seeing the NFC Championship game run last season, what a way to go out. And hopefully, we can send him off the right way this year with the ultimate, like Dan Campbell said, the enchilada.
Man, that man's probably aged himself through some Lions seasons for sure.
Dude, no
That
doubt.
he got to see last year.
Yeah.
I guess that come to fruition. Real quick, too, if you guys didn't know, not a lot. I mean, we cover MMA here, but Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal were supposed to be boxing. Well, they're still going to box at some point, but they had their official press conference yesterday. I believe it was in Florida, actually. I don't think it was in Cali. I'm not familiar where it was. Either way, Nate Diaz, known to be a knucklehead. Jorge Masvidal, known to be a knucklehead. In true form and fashion, it came down. They brawled at the end of it. I didn't see the video.
No, you sent it. Do you want a 3-camera? No.
Yeah, but yeah.
They brawled?
There's a couple of them. Well, they ended up, the camps brawled. You'll see.
Let's check it out. Ha.
So this must have been that must have been recorded by Jorge's camp because they didn't show him getting popped too.
That was wild.
I mean, there's I guess that's what happens. I don't know. The old guy allegedly got knocked out. You saw him, the guy in the red shirt. You see, he kind of was like coming to a little bit there.
Yikes!
Looked a little bit confused, but I don't know. It's just funny because that's what they're known for, or that's what they were known for in the UFC. Just being those type of reckless guys and
stuck to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in that scrum. I'll tell you that.
No.
Okay.
Damn, none of you guys watch. I want to ask who you guys got in that fight.
Yeah, I have no idea, dude.
No, I was about to say, where was that at? Where did that happen at?
I'm looking it up real quick.
Cause that looked random. But you said who I got in the fight. I would have to take Nate Diaz in that. I would take Nate.
So Nate Diaz?
Yeah.
Actually, they fought before once in the UFC, and I'm not gonna lie, Jorge kind of dog walked him. It ended up being like a doctor stoppage because Nate was just bleeding so much. But I don't want to disrespect Nate because I know Nate's got he's got an army. The Diaz army is strong, but he gets so much credit for like being this. He is good. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, he fought in the UFC and whatnot, but like his record isn't the greatest. He's more of a grappler than he is. Like his strong suit, in my mind, is grappling than anything else. I just don't get where he gets this like. He's just got
He
aura.
from Stockton, California, homie.
Do you
Don't
think
play
it
with
is,
them
man.
Homes?
You think it's the big personality? That's why.
That's
Bro, he don't even
Yeah.
got that though. He's just like, fuck this. Man,
It's because
I want to be here.
it's because he has a.
Stop asking me that.
Yeah,
my
don't
God.
ask me it.
Yikes.
That I don't get. I truly don't get it. I honestly know what it is, and maybe Dustin got a little bit of it too. But obviously the Conor fight. I think that's what it was.
No,
Just
I was
how
about to say
big
that's
Conor was when that
definitely his
happened. You know what I'm
biggest
saying?
claim to fame,
Yeah, it's got to be it because I don't think he has a giant personality. I don't think he's super entertaining as a fighter. He just doesn't get knocked out. You can say that. Like he eats every single punch. Although Jake Paul almost punched him out of the ring. I don't know if anybody remembers that. He's just the legend still carries on. Nate Diaz still doing the damn thing. He's going to fight Jorge Masvidal. I know this was in there yesterday, Chris. I don't know if you re-download or not. Did you guys see the new Vikings unis?
Yeah, holy shit.
Actually, guess.
Wow. That's the biggest win the Vikings will have this season.
By far, bro.
Wow.
Not even close.
Yeah, they look good.
Wavy J?
Yeah, no, they crazy. I saw them earlier. They're all white, bro. If they play an outside game with them on too, that'd be even crazy.
Imagine like a snow game.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they
Oh,
play,
yeah.
Would the NFL have to rule against that? Because that damn near would be like an advantage. It
Yeah.
would though, like
Would it
all
be
white in the snow, like that would.
I guess not. That I'm thinking about it. Because I was going to say alternates are usually at home, but no, if you if you're doing a Thursday night game, well, it's a winter edition jersey, so I'm assuming it's a home.
Because like, what if they catch the
home
Packers?
game.
What if they catch the Packers on a snow game and it's just like blizzarding or like just coming down and
To be
all
honest,
you see is just white?
It might be a disadvantage for them.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I mean,
if you're the quarterback and you're looking out.
But then on the defensive side, you're not gonna know where they defense at.
Pass
actually a good point, too.
interference and holding calls that stand out like crazy against that white. You know, the all whites with the, like if you're going up
It's
against
definitely
gloves.
gonna be interesting to see on TV. It's definitely gonna
I
be
liked when the
interesting
Lions
to
used
see.
to do the all whites too.
Yeah, me as well.
But we don't have a white helmet though. That's really like the big.
No, yeah, and I'm cool not having a white helmet. It's just clean.
Honestly,
No, it
like
definitely is.
yeah, I could. Could you imagine like a whiteout in Minnesota? Like all the fans, you know, they already get crazy with the skull. I don't love to give Minnesota too much credit really with
Yeah.
anything because I hate their fan base, but that would be crispy. Complete whiteout, white jerseys, kind of like the way that we're thinking about doing it with the black jerseys, you know, in Detroit.
Yeah, no, I hope we do the black jerseys. I'll be down to do the black jerseys.
Oh,
when Minnesota
against
comes.
oh, dude.
Whites versus the blacks.
Just
Definitely a
like Nick
throwback.
drew it up.
Oh, stop it.
Playing.
No, I mean, I thought they were hard. Actually, and again, that's a team you don't never want to give credit to, but the stadium, the chant, it's kind of they pieced that part well. All right, they're not necessarily a team that I've ever been scared of my entire life. I've never looked at them as like Super Bowl contenders. Maybe a brief year when they had AP and Brett
Yeah,
Favre.
prime AP is when I was the most scared of the Vikings.
Yeah,
When he was running for like 200 every time on the Lions.
Exactly. And I remember that my first year that I had seen tickets, we opened up against the Minnesota Vikings in AP at the very first play. Just
I know
Took it to the crib.
exactly what
Yeah.
year you talking about.
Oh,
It's crazy. I was watching his highlights the other day, and not even on purpose. Somebody's posting like old Sports Center highlights and be like, "Give me the good old days." And Sports Center actually talked about sports, and we're just like talking heads and whatnot.
oh boy.
But they had the Lions versus the Vikings on, and I forgot how fast AP is. Like, he wasn't just like a beast physically, or like he just did everything. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't get to see Barry, so in my lifetime, I had this conversation with Braylon too.
prime.
He probably the best in my lifetime that I've actually got to watch.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I mean, like I just said, I was fearful watching those Vikings games, like knowing that AP was going to absolutely dominate the Detroit Lions every single time he played them.
You give it to him over LaDainian Tomlinson?
I would in his
Yes,
prime.
all day.
Whoa.
Even
That's
though
fair.
that's actually that's AP's nickname.
Yeah.
All day.
I mean,
Really?
All
Yeah,
day.
I'm taking him all day over AP or LT.
LT, that's fair.
I'd have to watch some LT highlights, I guess. Just refresh a little
don't he
bit.
still got the like single season touchdown record for a running back or for rushing touchdowns?
The single season?
Yeah, I think he still do.
I have to look it up.
And yeah, I think he got like the single game record, don't he?
Who has the most touchdowns as a running back in a single season? Anyone want to take guesses before I get this final answer?
Most touchdowns?
Yeah.
I mean, McCaffrey balled out last season.
Is LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay, wow.
28.
Yeah, I was
Which is
gonna say,
AP's
he
number.
had some crazy seasons for sure.
That's the other thing, too. Adrian Peterson towards ACL came back and won a freaking...
Didn't he have 2K after the ACL?
What a beast, dude.
He either had
Yeah.
2K or was like 8 yards away, something like that.
At one point in the NFC North, I remember thinking this because that's when they kind of started doing the top 100s. The NFC North had the best quarterback. Well, I guess if you Tom Brady would be in the conversation too, but in Aaron Rodgers, the best running back in AP, and the best wide receiver in Calvin Johnson.
Dog.
I'm trying to think who else. The Bears had nothing else to offer. Maybe one throw linebacker or something.
They had Brian
Yeah, Urlacher. I did
Peanut
like watching
Tillman.
Urlacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. I'll never forget live TV. This is like a core memory for me too. Monday Night Football, AP trucking, AJ Hawk, and freaking Clay Matthews in the same play. I think I might have been for a touchdown. I might be like over fantasizing
That's
it,
wild.
or over romanticizing it. But yeah, that's
Talk-
just how good he was.
Yeah, talking about elites, we're going to break down, can Amon-Ra St. Brown hit another level this season, even after getting all-pro honors last year? Can Aiden Hutchinson become a top 5 D end?
Yep.
We're going to go up against the top NFC teams. We're going to break it down. How do the Lions stack up against them? And we're going to break down this division and see how the Lions stack up against Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, and J.J. McCarthy, question mark? Pack show for you guys.
Yes, sir. How about you tell us about Planet Fitness?
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, and there's more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
It's the Woodward Sports Injury Insider with Dr. Jeff Pierce, the medical director of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. Every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, brought to you by the MRI of Southfield, featuring the most advanced imaging and maximum patient comfort for over 20 years. MRIsouthfield.com. What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my guy Nick Morex, Detroit Mario in the building.
Let's go, baby.
We got young Chris, Wavy J. Smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend. Shout out to Nick.
Kicking off the weekend right.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Let's go. Shout out Spenmo. I know he's probably crushing Chicago.
Absolutely. He just found out they have a new time zone for the first time in his life.
Yeah, is that what he was saying in the chat earlier?
To be fair, I didn't know about that either until I went.
It's like an hour behind, right?
Yeah, and I didn't even go to Chicago. I was like in a outers, like a city in the outskirts, whatever. And I found out there's an hour difference. But it's the most Chicago thing for them to have like their own time zone. It's the prettiest. For how far are they from us? 2 hours?
They're like 4 hours.
Yeah, like 4 hours. Yeah, maybe even more.
Enough distance away from Detroit to have a separate time zone? Like
maybe it's weird with like the lake, Great Lake right there, you know?
Like what are we doing? No. I feel like it's the most prissy Chicago. Like they just want to be the fanciest piece in the Midwest.
It's you're right, Easy, because you know what? I just traveled to Indiana for work a couple days ago. That's why Pete was filling in for me, and that was a 4-hour drive. And guess what they're on? They're on Eastern time.
You know what I'm saying?
What are we
doing?
I'm just saying.
We go up north. Up north, I have a different time zone. That's I've been a 6-hour drive up north before.
Yeah.
For what?
I'm not sure why they do it, but you know what about the time zones real quick before we hop into this Lions talk?
Yeah.
I'm jealous of the early morning football on the West Coast.
Okay, I was wondering that too.
Yeah, you know, you wake up and you just automatically have football on. Like, I think the 2 hours from like 10 to 12 o'clock, like college football, like they are the longest 2 hours of my life when I'm waiting for noon kickoff, like on college football. Like it just feels like forever.
Because I was wondering that too. I was gonna make fun of them for like having football at noon But that happens for college for us, yeah. But it just sounds weird.
And
I'm used to 1 p.m. starts, right?
Yeah.
Even when it's advertised, 1 p.m. Everything. I feel like when I watch, maybe because it's our like broadcasting.
Yeah.
We're in the Eastern time zone, but like everything is like Eastern. Like when they're initially announced.
Everything is based off us. Like, so get with the program. No, but like if you're going to see an hour difference is stupid, but like a 3-hour difference like the West Coast has, like you said, is great because then you're not finishing the last basketball game at 1:30 in the morning. Like you got some time to your night, so it's much more balanced. I like that a lot. The West Coast time zone, that's cool, but the East Coast time zone, that's cool. Central time zone, that's whack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Jones in the chat. Those pregame shows drag. Amen. They really do.
They really fucking do.
They drag them out like crazy.
I purposely try to like sleep in. Like I'll try to stay up the night before.
Yeah.
So I can wake, like you said, just wake up to football.
Exactly.
But you also got your fantasy lineups and everything else too. All right. I just want to get this out of the way. Obviously, Detroit Lions wrapped up their mandatory mini camp.
Yep.
It was yesterday. We reacted to a lot of the things that Dan Campbell had to say. You had a few Pistons topics in there too, which we have today as well. I want to get the reports out of the last day of camp and get some of you guys' takeaways. And this is from Detroit Lions team reporter Tim Twentyman. And this is talking about, first of all, actually, they did a little drill where they switched sides of the ball, where Kirby Joseph played quarterback. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson ended up being tight end. It was just for one play, too. And Kirby went deep to Aiden Hutchinson for nothing. It was broken up.
Yeah.
Who do you think broke it up?
God, someone on the offense. I'm thinking Sammy Lapotz.
Nope. Who do you think be the coldest
on our
safety
offense?
On our offense, yeah.
St. Brown.
J-Mo had
Yeah, like strong safety. It was J-Mo.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like, if J-Mo's back playing like free safety, he's so goddamn fast that he can just be like anywhere in the split. I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's cool that they did that.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun segment. Just put your defensive guys at offensive positions. Maybe we'll do that during the summer because obviously summer drags too. But anyway, they did a lot more situational football. There's some serious work to get done. It's from Tim Twentyman. And the situational drill that Dan Campbell put them in was the offense trailing 30-21 with 1:59 left with the ball on the 30. So they obviously scored twice to win. And here's how it went for the first team offense versus the first team defense. Pay attention to the names we're using here too. Everyone's wondering what's going to go on at wide receiver 3, but Jared Goff in the offense was able to move the ball into field goal range with a little over a minute left to trim the lead to 30-24 as both Michael Badgley and James Turner made 55-yard kicks. By the way, real quick if I pause, I don't remember reading a single time James Turner missing a kick. Can you remember?
I thought he was solid. He's kind of like Badgley, to be honest, last year at Michigan. Like he's consistent short game, but it seemed like long is where he had some issues, like 50 plus. But I could check out the stats. But
you know what? I think I do remember him miss. No, actually, they made both. He's been kicking. This is just mini camp again. We still have training camp to go.
Yeah,
maybe Jake Bates into that conversation too. But it feels like James Turner might end up being your Detroit Lions kicker. So we may not get Jake Bates. We get somebody from the state of Michigan at least. So
yeah, Turner was kicking in the big house. I'm sure he'll kick better at Ford Field.
Yes, sir. The 55-yard too. That's a big amount.
Yep.
Either way, they then simulated using all 3 timeouts to get the ball back. And then after a punt in the end zone by Jack Fox, the offense started at their own 20 with 1:02 left on the clock. Goff got the offense out to the defensive side of the 45-yard line with completions to Williams, Laporta, and Antoine Green. Is Antoine Green going to snipe the wide receiver 3 position? Did anybody see this coming?
Hell no.
No.
I thought it was DPJs.
Yeah. So Antoine Green caught a big pass, you said?
There's completions to the 3 of them. They didn't say it was like any specification whether it was like a big pass or not, but it's as far as they go. But that's as far as they'd go. Williams had a chance to make a touchdown catch late in the drill, but let a deep ball slip through his hands in the end zone. That's a win for the defense. That part kind of sucks to hear, but Antoine Green, I liked. I'm a little bit biased in that one. I'm not gonna lie, but I guess J-Mo dropping the big one too.
Yeah, J-Mo dropping. That's exactly what we have not been hearing out of camp. So that obviously kind of scares you, but you don't want to overreact to one play at all. But hearing some stuff out of Antoine Green, I mean, you love to hear it. You want somebody to steal, to take that wide receiver 3 role and not just be placed into it because you have to be. You want somebody to actually go out there, grab it, and be proven day in and day out in practice. If Antoine Green clearly separates himself as the wide receiver 3, which obviously he hasn't done yet, but if he does that, I mean, I got to feel confident if this team's confident in him.
Yeah. I think we're all expecting. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, that's a good point that you brought up with earning it, because a lot of us have been just straight up saying, like, all right, it's either going to be DPJ or Khalif Raymond. But who's to say if during these dog days in the summer that Antoine Green just come out balling and just keep balling every day, consistency. That's the biggest thing that I would say in this is if we consistently see him being brought up in these drills, in these big time moments in the practice, then yeah, I would say, all right, it's time to start looking at him as a wide receiver 3. So if he gives us that consistency and earns it, then yeah, no, I definitely give him the wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I'm here for Antoine Green. I had some expectations of him. I admitted this, like, I think it was either this week or last week, but I had expectations for him even last year. I think I told you guys I started him in a fantasy lineup.
Yeah, that's wild. That you
Reynolds ended up coming back playing healthy, whatever. But, like, I guess, again, sometimes it takes time. We're watching that with Jameson Williams. And I guess I want to ask this, too, because obviously I think we all expect a leap from Jameson Williams. Dan Campbell says that you know for sure it's happening. I don't think Dan Campbell's yet to say something that hasn't happened. By the way, he's talking about the whole enchilada Super Bowl, all that good stuff like that. Hopefully that happens too. But
inject that into my veins. Right? I want to wake up every morning hearing Dan Campbell talk about the enchilada, the big one, the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. But either way, he's always kept it blunt with us, no matter the situation. I mean, he wears his emotions on the sleeve to the point where he's cried in the middle of these post-game pressers.
True.
Remember when he said that J-Mo, he just might not ever have those elite hands?
Yes.
Are we? I mean, are we accepting that? Can that's still probably the case, right? Like, he could be better in terms of like route running, the nuances, like finding those zones. Like, Amon-Ra's not the fastest guy in the field, but he's able to find like the soft zones in the defense where he's able to catch the ball and then make a move from then on. Like, I'm fine with that. I guess he's already set that standard. No, or we expecting him to have better hands and everything.
I am 100% expecting him to have better hands.
Yeah,
like he needs to have better hands. Like, no doubt about it. I mean, you think about the biggest play of last season. It was an over-the-shoulder. It was a little overthrown, but J-Mo slowed up on it a little bit. It was in the NFC Championship game where he obviously excelled, had a big game. But the over-the-shoulder J-Mo drop, kind of, was it a miss pass? But if he catches that ball, we have all the momentum in that NFC Championship game with J-Mo. So he just needs to be more consistent, I think, in the bigger spots that he's put in. And that's what this offense is expecting him to do.
I would say also, I didn't really see like a problem with J-Mo hands. I more so saw the problem with how he tracks the ball. So like how you brought up the over the shoulder, like even the one where he caught against the Buccaneers for a touchdown, it looked like he had a little problem tracking that. So I would say it's almost like he's almost got to get used to his speed in the NFL, it seems like, to really know where the ball is at times. So like sometimes you will see him like, it didn't seem like he ran past the ball and he's looking back like too late, like, oh, it's going to be like, it's not going to get to me. And then also, when you say, is his hands going to get better, are you saying like you expect maybe like a couple drops, like just like straight up hitting his hands? Or are you saying like he's going to be able to do everything, but the hands just won't be to the elite point where he like mossing people, catching in traffic, things like that?
I don't have the expectation of him making these catches consistently. Just from a little bit that we've seen, obviously, in game, we've watched him have these drops multiple times. Obviously, Dan Campbell comes out, and again, that's a guy who is quite blunt and transparent about everything. He tells you he doesn't really expect him ever to be like one of the elite pass catchers. And in a way, we've kind of been spoiled with Amon-Ra St. Brown. That guy catches absolutely everything. Even remember that catch he had like between the legs that one time? Like he...
Yeah, that was wild.
Amon-Ra's a dog. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying anything negative. Like, J-Mo's still going to do his thing. I just don't know how consistent we're going to be able to like rely on it. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of the biggest things that you'll see the improvement on this season, you've talked about in the past, Easy, is Jared Goff kind of has a weird ball sometimes. Like, it comes out of his hands a little wobbly, you know, but it gets to where it needs to go.
Absolutely.
The thing this year is the comfortability with Jared Goff and J-Mo to get on the same page with his elite speed. He's moving faster than anybody on the field at all times. So with training camp, them getting on the same page, that's the biggest thing to me, why I think the drops, you will not see them as often as you have in his first 2 seasons in the NFL, because I think he'll be on the same page with Goff more and be more prepared when the ball's actually coming compared to, setting him up in bad spots. So he'll be more prepared when the ball actually gets there from JG when they get on the same page more and more and more.
No, that makes 100% 1,000,000% sense. I mean, we've said that. We've had him more on the show.
Yep.
All pro wide receivers, said the same sentiment as like, yeah, no matter what, that's your job as a wide receiver to catch the ball at the end of the day.
Yep.
Chris, I do see you.
Okay.
I'm driving this bitch. I'll decide when we go to break. Good, sir?
I'm just looking for a little eye contact, a little bit of acknowledgement.
Well, I can't
Let
let
me
you
drive
distract
the
me,
boat.
brother.
That's fair. Gotta be locked in. I respect it.
Tell us about the morning show, Nick.
Well,
Every
not
single
Nick.
morning when you, I think Joel's running.
Joel.
Let's go, Joel.
Yeah, what you call it?
Tell them about the best morning show in America.
So what you call it? Wake Up Woodward. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward Monday morning, or Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel, Sam, Broder, JB, KG, and Justin every morning as they cover all of Detroit sports talk, banter, live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime.
Oh, you got
Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer with 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the nearest location near you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive have been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage.
Wavy J with the ad rig.
Let's go.
Audience with the like button. Smashed.
Smash.
Appreciate it.
What up, Chris? You about to say something?
Oh no, we can save it for Pistons, but there was a little bit of Pistons breaking news, kind of, but we can save it for that part. Let's not bring down the show now. Let's not ruin the vibes.
Is it like breaking speculation or
Yeah,
breaking?
it's breaking speculation.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
It
about.
pertains to what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah,
Let's dive into it later.
we will dive into that later, much later.
No, I get it.
Much later, as in on
Well, no,
Saturday.
it is kind of nice. I mean, it made my heart smile. Put it that way.
Okay. I like the tease there.
It is the one piece that I felt like had to go. And then, again, we talked about it yesterday, not in a malicious way. It's just his heart's not in it. But again, we got Lions to talk about first. We did the poll yesterday. We know what you guys want to hear first, so we'll get to this first. And actually, when you're ready, Nick, I might have you introduce these because you're the guy who put these in the prep.
Yep, let's roll. I knew we had to get a packed football show here for the people to start their weekend off right. And my biggest question was, what are these teams doing in the NFC that are going to stop the Lions from ultimately getting to that Super Bowl? And I think we start with the heaviest hitter of them all, the one that kept them out of the Super Bowl last season. I think we start with the San Francisco 49ers. How do you feel about the rematch going up against San Fran if you have to in the NFC Championship to get back to the Super Bowl? How can the Lions find a way to win this game against the San Francisco 49ers?
So we talked about this specific thing. I think what killed us in that game was the ability to run by Brock Purdy. Like the biggest difference in the back half of that game is Purdy scrambling in those situations where we couldn't. If you watch the first half, a lot of the situations that Purdy was in, we threw the interception to Malcolm Rodriguez. He had a couple of pass breakups. They only scored those 7 points in that first half. In the second half, he started running. And that started opening up things. You got guys in the backfield that are second-guessing if he's going to run or if he's going to throw the J check or whatever the situation may be. I think this year we'll fare better against them or against any running quarterback for this two simple reasons. Not even simple reasons. I'll give them more credit than that. They're not simple at all. DJ Reader just commanded the extra attention that he will and just for sure filling a lane where if he is going to run, it's going to have to be in an outside. There's no more of that scooting in the middle type shit, you know. Number two, just Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell's being more where Jack Campbell having those clear lanes to run through to tackle a running quarterback. I think we fare well against the 49ers. I think I said it last year even too that I was more confident of us going against that 49ers team than I was the Eagles team at the beginning of the season. Now, obviously, as the season went on, Jalen Hurts got hurt. and then that offense kind of came repetitive, elementary, high schoolish, where you knew what they're going to do every single game. Obviously, I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought, what's their Sirianni? I thought he had more in the bag.
Yeah.
Turns out he didn't.
Talk about a meltdown.
But that's
we'll
why
get to them.
That's why I was more scared of that team, though, because Jalen Hurts obviously is more mobile than Purdy.
Yeah. This team maybe is the most talented team in the whole entire NFL. It's the 49ers. They had 7 All-Pros last season. You think about McCaffrey, Warner, Trent Williams, George Kittle, even the fullback Juszczyk, and then Ayuk. This team is absolutely stacked, and I didn't even mention Deebo Samuel. So I think for the Lions to match up with them, I think we saw it happen last season in the NFC Championship game. Our inexperience came out. When you think about the ball to the face mask on Kindle Vildor, you think about the drops from Josh Reynolds, you think about the fumble from Jahmyr Gibbs. Those little things add up, and they add up to a loss in the NFC Championship game, blowing a lead. So I think the attention to detail is going to be the most important thing against the San Francisco 49ers, because you are not allowed to make mistakes like they did, because obviously you saw what happened and they ended up blowing that 17-point lead. I think the attention to detail and staying away from turnovers is the biggest key in beating, the super team that is the San Francisco 49ers.
I would say also, if I can add a point to that, is our biggest struggle last year, which was the third quarter. Like during the third quarter, most games, that was like our lull spot, and that was when the 49ers got back in the game. So if we literally didn't have a lull spot third quarter, the 49ers didn't play that crazy fourth quarter. Like it wasn't that like of a big discrepancy in the fourth quarter. So we literally lost the game because of the third quarter. So if we can clean that up, I feel this Lions team will definitely be definitely be good.
Which is something that I brought to the attention earlier in the offseason when I talked about this Lions team, is that those second half adjustments or lack thereof seem to be a problem with the Lions. And I don't know if it's a message of Dan Campbell just, kind of saying, hey, just go out there and keep fighting and being motivational rather than tactical X's and O's, and the other team making the adjustments at halftime. But we saw quite a few games last season where the third quarter flipped against the Lions and not in their favor. So that is something to monitor. But you're right, Nick. This is top to bottom. The Niners are the most talented team, one of the most talented teams in the NFL, arguably the most talented. But you know what? They got a lot going on. They got some contracts to figure out.
True.
They got some things where the Lions are. We talk about this all the time. And we're not just saying it to be biased. They are collective. They are a unit. They are cohesive. They are all in lockstep with each other. You have not heard of any issues yet. So I think that's something that will play to the Lions' advantage and could potentially play to the 49ers' downfall. There was
because multiple things too, right? Like remember in Dan Campbell, he said it just the other day. We played on this show. Like the difference was just these guys not knowing where to send the extra help in those moments.
Yeah,
and that's why I mentioned like a Jack Campbell and the difference and against the 49ers this year is like he has his feet under him a little bit more, or he's going to have his feet under him a little bit more. It's another year seasoned under his belt. He's played against this skill level. He knows what to expect. He knows how to treat his body. Yeah, at least a better idea in doing so. At least it's still like only a sophomore season, but yeah, for those reasons, like again, like we're not going to be surprised by too many more things because guys will be a lot more experienced.
Yeah, I think that's
gun guy. Take your pants off.
Shout out. Let's go. I'm gonna move right on to I think the next biggest contender in the NFC besides the San Francisco 49ers, and I believe that's the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they are destined for a bounce back season after falling apart last year. They have talent on both sides of the ball, a revamped secondary, and two absolute beasts in the middle in Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis out of Georgia. This team, I could expect to take a big leap next season. How do you see us stacking up, Easy?
Real quick, no one talks about that Gibbs fumble either.
Everyone
lots of blame around for
people get mad when I say
Reynolds,
the Gibbs fumble.
No one talks about that Gibbs fumble.
I literally said, I told my friends while watching the game, I said when that happened, we lost.
Yep.
That play told it all. So I guess that was my way of blaming that play on the loss, but that just was like the final sign of things that like this shit over.
Yep. That was the inexperience.
Yeah.
You know, he was a rookie in a big spot.
Yeah, what ended up happening too is he took the wrong step. He went to go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Which rookie, right? We hadn't seen it the entire season.
Exactly.
It was just such a the moment for it to happen. That's why I say with the Malik, or not Malik, I always call him Malik, damn it. The Hendon Hooker stuff, like you want the mistakes to happen now. For everybody, not just him.
Were your team kick the field goal or
kick
go
the field
for
goal?
it?
Immediately, I was watching that live in Bleacher Report with Dosa Dion. I was pissed. I was not happy.
I said the first one we didn't go for, cool, because like that was our motto the whole season. That was our MO. That's what got us to that point. The second one, I said maybe we should have.
When you're just up multiple scores like that, there's just no reason to not kick the field goal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no. That's what I said on the second one, definitely probably should have kicked it.
Yeah, if they were one score away from being a tie or being one possession, it was still multiple possession lead. Like, just add to it. I was team kick the field goal all day. Damn. Straight 49. We didn't even get the rest of the NFC. We're talking about how the Detroit Lions stack up against the rest of these top NFC teams. So far, we've only been able to get to the 49ers because we had to go to another break. And I got to tell you guys about Swiss Insurance. When we get back, we get to the rest of the NFC. But before then, let me tell you about my guy Mark over at Swiss Insurance. Make sure you guys hit him up, right? It's the best in the game. And make sure your current rates are climbing up on you. Make sure your deductibles aren't doing the same. Contact my guy Mark from Swiss Insurance today. It's 313-530-1698. Again, that's 313-530-1698. Or email him at mark@swissins.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Dispo Dispensary. Make sure you guys this weekend pull up, grab some, and watch that Clippers documentary because it was looking wild. Dispo Dispensary, get the best bud tenders, the best bud, the best deals, and the best atmosphere. It's Dispo, your local campus plug, because it's got 6 locations more across the great state of Michigan. Visit DispoShops.com to find one near you. You must be 21 up and older to participate, and check out Dispo Dash to get delivered to your front door. What up, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodsportsSports.com.
Let's go, baby.
I'm your boy Easy, joined by Detroit Mario.
Let's
aka
go.
Nicholas Kohloff. We got Young Chris. We got Wavy J. And we're kind of just discussing like how the Detroit Lions stack up against the rest of these top teams in the NFC. Who else you got on the list, Nick?
So I kind of set it up last segment here, but I think the other contender in the NFC, specifically if you have to go to that arena in the middle of January, is the Philadelphia Eagles. That does not sound like fun to me. I think with the new additions, Cooper DeJean, you think about Mitchell, one of the top cornerbacks in this draft, and then you think about CJ returning, and you think about the beast running back, Saquon Barkley. Can he stay healthy? We'll see, but you know what kind of talent he has to pair with Jalen Hurts. How do you think this Detroit Lions team matches up specifically against the Philadelphia Eagles? And would you be worried if we had to travel there in the playoffs for an NFC Championship game?
They're probably. I'll
say it.
I think I'm nervous about them again this year more than the Niners.
Whoa!
I mean, we saw us play the Niners and dominate that situation up until a couple blunders ourselves. You point in the mirror and blame on us. The Eagles, yeah, they fell apart in the back half of last season, but they kind of patched those things up. And I don't know what type of coach Nick Sirianni is. If like because the thing I was nervous about when we hired Dan Campbell is obviously the first impression. He's a rah-rah guy. You get, that's what you think. And the rah-rah can grow tired when there's no reward after it. You know what I'm saying? You just all this young, let's go, and then you're nothing to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you give us the same speech every time, and we've never done shit for it. I feel like Nick Sirianni can wear thin that way, and that's why he bounces through different coordinators and whatnot, but you can't deny the issues that they had. Again, that offense got elementary. They addressed that with, he used to be Kellen Moore. They got Vic Fangio for the defense. And then, okay, you look at the players they lacked, and it was that secondary. It was weak as shit. Bro, they brought back CJ GJ, where you like him or not, he was a dog for him. They signed Cooper DeJean, who I've been on record saying at the safety position,
drafted
all pro level. No, I don't think he'd play outside corner, but I think he'd be all pro. Eric Weddle at its finest. That you know how the white boys and safeties are nice sometimes, all right? You gotta give them their credit. You gotta give them respect for it.
You gonna learn from Reed Blankenship.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You got Reed Blankenship back, and then they also grabbed Quinyon Mitchell. They dressed that secondary. Yeah, man. We will be able to run the ball on them though, and that's where we'll get our bread and butter. There's not a team that I'm really too scared of, to be honest with you. I think we match up well against everybody. I'm not gonna pick any of these teams over Detroit Lions just because we're up there amongst the best. But the Eagles do give me some nightmares.
To that point, Easy, I think the biggest thing for this Detroit Lions team going up against the Eagles, we have to be healthy in the middle, going up against Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, specifically
Absolutely.
Frank Ragnow. He has to make it. Like, we know he's dealt with injuries the past few seasons. We know he has a bionic toe at this point. We'll see what happens, but I think that we can control them. And then on the flip side of the ball, is the tush push going to be the same without Jason Kelce being the center, in front of Jalen Hurts? What do you think about that, Joel?
I'm not too sure about that, but
yeah,
because I don't know if it was more so Jason Kelce that patented like the ability to be able to make it so effective, or was it their whole offensive line, or was it Jalen Hurts? I'm not too sure based off the technique, but I would say based off how Philly stack up against Detroit, I would probably, on paper, I would have to give them the slight nod to what you call it.
You give it to Philly?
Yeah, just off the simple fact that if Saquon stays healthy, what I'm more so thinking about in my brain is the ability the Eagles will have to play off of that with a running quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who is also, he's not a terrible passer. He can definitely pass the ball well. So you got a able passing quarterback and a great running quarterback too at the same time. And if you pair him with that running back of a Saquon Barkley caliber, I think the Eagles could be scary if they find a way to find a nice way to work and disguise them together, with some read option and RPOs. A lot of that, they could be scary that way.
And by the way, real quick too, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Detroit Lions, a few times it wasn't like the patented tush push from the Philadelphia Eagles, which, as you said too, though, Kelce was a big part of that.
Massive.
But we stopped the tush push. If you guys remember, multiple times last year. Multiple times teams tried the tush push against Detroit Lions. It did not work. Whatever AG's got cooking up, he's got the sauce to stop it. So that ain't worrying me so much. They do, again, that's the team I would worry about the most probably just because everything they got. But I truly feel the brand of football that we play is just that punching them out football. With our offensive line and these duo of running backs, we have odds, we have chances to win against anybody.
Could they back up Kenneth Gainwell or Boston Scott?
I believe it's Gainwell again, but I could be wrong. I'll double check on that one.
Yeah, the thing that scares me the most with Philly has to be the quarterback in Jalen Hurts. When you think about us defending running quarterbacks, I swear we have not been able to for my entire life, but specifically the last few seasons.
Yeah.
We saw Lamar Jackson absolutely dominate this Detroit Lions team. So that's where Jack Campbell's development has to come into play when you get into the playoffs and when these quarterbacks can take off. We saw Purdy hurt us last season. A guy like Jalen Hurts, Jack Campbell has to be on lockdown at all points, every single time. Eyes on Jalen Hurts, because that's when you can actually he can take over a game with his feet.
I already commented in the Woodward Sports chat, but if we have any audio listeners, I cannot wait for Amon-Ra to catch if we match up against them. Amon-Ra catch a ball somewhere in the middle of the field and just absolutely fucking stiff arm CJ GJ to oblivion.
Yeah,
same way Christian McCaffrey got him.
You gonna do a little screen recording and tweet it back at him?
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah, have to keep it going.
I think he's blocked me by now.
Oh really?
Yeah, he did.
He's scared?
I'll post it.
Yeah. We'll get it going.
Hey, you know what I'll do? I can't even go that far. Y'all know who I'm linked up
with.
I can probably get you share that one for me. But
all right, another team,
moving on.
NFC East, another team in that division.
Summer Bunny.
Shout out Dallas, because long live Cowgirls, Dallas Cowboys. How do you feel? I don't even think they're contenders, but the over/under has them right there. I believe they have the same. I think they have the same over/under as the Detroit Lions. The Cowgirls. Are you scared of them at all?
No.
Easy.
No, I'm not. I am not.
Does anything on their team scare you?
I mean, CeeDee Lamb and Dak is their lethal combination. We saw what they were, but we limited that duo itself to be in a position to win. And we're going to be I believe we're going to be a better football team next year. So as much as CeeDee and Dak do damage against everybody, mind you, the teams they played last year were complete ass. I had a guy that I respect on this show to try to talk him out of the Dak stuff because I respect him so well. And he's still hyped up Dak. He's like, yeah, just Dak did so well last year. Then he got to the playoffs. Yeah, because he actually played a team above 500. Like, they just so overhyped, so overrated. Our secondary, beyond just the pieces we have starting, we also have a little bit of depth of it too. No, this shouldn't be on this list. Yep. Who is the running back? Can somebody tell me?
It's Zeke.
Zeke,
again, right?
Yeah, Zeke.
That's how bad that back. They re-signed Zeke, who looked bad last year too.
Yeah.
He had a little short yard situation. He's not the same guy. The running back position declines for that reason. Get the Cowboys off this fucking list.
I am not scared of them at all, and we are coming for revenge this season in Jerry's World. For the third year in a row, we're playing in Jerry's World. Not scared of them at all. We have the cornerbacks now to guard a guy like CeeDee Lamb. The only player on this team that scares me is a guy like Micah Parsons, but I think Penei Sewell has his number, to be quite honest. And if you want to line him up on the other side on Taylor Decker, be my guest. But that's the only thing that would scare you if Parsons can like absolutely take over the game. But I do not see that happening against this Detroit Lions offensive line. Cowgirls, non-contenders.
Everybody asking where Spitty is. You ever watch Forrest Gump where I just ran.
I just run.
I don't know why I was running.
He been running.
He been running. That's what Spitty.
He was looking over Jedi.
Yeah, Cowboys, man. Look at this prep sheet. Let's cross them off the list.
I don't even think Cowboys. I think Cowboys are definitely gonna be like battling like near the end of the season to even make the playoffs.
I'm with you. I just don't understand it, man. I really don't.
Is there any sneaky contenders in the NFC?
Rams.
I was other than Rams. I don't even think they sneaky no more because I hear so many people say them. I've been saying the Falcons. I lucky think the Falcons could shock a lot of people this year.
I'm not a big Kirk guy.
Shocked though.
Like
how
nobody
far?
is really expecting nothing out of the Falcons. I think I see the Falcons playing a playoff game this year.
I think they're the division favorites right now. But I don't think they expect beyond that. Do you expect beyond? Like, I would
actually say though they have the team to be able to win a playoff game too though. Like so that's why I'm like that would be my a real deal sleeper team that like nobody is thinking nothing of. I would say like a team that could like come out and win one playoff game would have to be the Falcons.
They're kind of like how I looked at Minnesota my whole life. Like, yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
I'm never worried about them. You know?
No, definitely not worried.
That type of thing. Yeah,
not worried.
You know who I disrespected that I actually am going to mention? It's because I kind of sleep on the defense a little bit. Is actually, and if they make it, obviously, like they don't have to crawl and get the way there, but they can be dangerous once they do. The Bucks. I think they still got some stuff to figure out offensively, but the defensive combination between I forgot the damn defensive tackle's name. He's one of my favorite guys. Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey. Just the duo of it. The same way I'm hyping up Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader, they already have a combination of that with a guy in Kalijah Kancey who has one of the best get-offs in the game right now, especially since Aaron Donald retired. So I think that combination, him having like a sophomore season too, the same way you kind of expect everybody to take a jump after that rookie year. I think that could be a deadly duo. On top of that, this young dude who kind of came on for him in the back half of last year, defensive end. I'm trying to think of his name. If Jeff's in the chat, he'll say it.
Yeah, he'll throw it in there. I like Kancey a lot as well. I really liked him coming out of Pitt in the draft. I thought he was electric coming off the line of scrimmage. But I wanted to shout out
Diaby.
Paul Thomas.
Yeah, Diaby.
Want to shout out Paul Thomas in the chat. Dallas game was like a box of chocolates. Shout out Paul Thomas.
I think they got Randy Gregory too. Who did they draft? They drafted an offensive lineman.
I'm just truly not scared of their offense.
Yeah,
I don't think they have the firepower on offense. If they had a better offense, I would right there with you. I think they could compete for the NFC, but I don't think that they have the offensive, like the firepower to match up with the Lions, the 49ers, or the Eagles for that matter.
So that's the part, and we're probably going to go over a little bit on this one, Chris, because there's other teams we want to get to, just so we get the segment over with, damn. But they kind of, like, firepower they do, but do they have the orchestrator? That's my question, because they had it last year with Dave Canal, so the offense finally got going. But like the orchestrator, like who's calling the plays? Like, do we have faith in that guy? Because firepower-wise, Mike Evans still top 10, top 15. We saw it last year. He came here and abused us in that playoff game. Chris Godwin's still who he is. Trey Palmer they picked up. And then I'm not going to lie to you guys, Rashad White, he was only a sophomore player last year. He's still got some room to grow too. Like, I think in actually running the play, but like Yeah, like catching out of the backfield, he was kind of good.
Bro, he's like my fantasy. Like, I have to pick him up in fantasy again this year. Like, he was a great fantasy pickup last year. Even, bro, throw the fantasy out the window. Watching him play is just
he's good.
Yeah, no, he crazy for sure.
If they survive that NFC South, because it's going to be a slugfest, they could definitely be a dangerous team. And the other team I kind of touched on, the Rams. I think people are sleeping on them a little bit. I think you're right, Jay. People are mentioning them a little bit more. But I think the piece that people are forgetting, obviously Matthew Stafford, you know what he's done. He's won a Super Bowl. They got Cooper Kupp. They got
Puka.
But the other part of it, too, they drafted Jared Verse and his running mate. Defensive tackle.
Fisk.
Yes.
Brandon Fisk.
They work well together. That's a great pairing. They were great. Bring that to an NFL level with a head coach like Sean McVay. They probably know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that they had a very good draft, but let's not forget the Hall of Fame, maybe best defensive tackle of all time. Aaron Donald is not playing in the middle of that defense anymore. And Stafford's age, he's kind of getting up there.
But did he look old? He looked prime Stafford when he played in the playoffs.
And he was also going up against Kendall Vildor and Cam Sutton on the outside, though. I think that this Lions upgraded secondary is going to be able to handle the Rams.
Like I said, I got us. I'm not backing down from no one in the NFC. For damn sure. Like,
not a chance.
We're on that level now. You know what I'm saying? Detroit Lions aren't looking up to nobody. They're face to face or looking down.
Exactly.
I'm just saying sleeper in the NFC could definitely be the Rams.
Yeah, I think they could definitely make the playoffs, but I'm not scared of them at all if they come back to Ford Field. I mean, we'll see it Sunday Night Football, but yeah, what do you think, Joel?
I was going to say the Aaron Donald part is a great part to bring up because edge rushers were able to look so good because they were like benefiting off the fact that you have the quadruple team. Yeah, you got a triple team Aaron Donald. So it just created so many one-on-ones for them. So now that I think, like, what was number 0 name? Like Byron Young or Byron? I can't remember. I know it's Young, though. I know his last name. It started with a B.
Byron, yeah, I know.
Yeah, but he was looking good last year, but now it's like, how will it look now that he's going to probably be seeing double teams? Like, teams are going to be prepared for a player like him. But maybe Jared Verse can get some of that pressure off
tension.
Him. Yeah, like, take away the double teams. But we'll see. But it's like now teams are like, last year, they were a team full of unknowns. So when you're a team full of unknowns, you can sneak up on people a lot easier that way.
Yeah.
But now that they're known, I think it's going to be like...
That's a great point.
They're going to keep them at the same spot. I still see them like 10, 11 games.
At the same point, though, Sean McVay has always had that offense. Like that, you're just going to have to deal with it regardless.
No,
but
definitely.
I could kind of say...
Kyron is definitely another scary part about that team, too.
Yeah, he's good, too.
Yeah.
But that defense is a little bit unknown, too. Like the Verse and Fisk combination. I guess maybe you want to go back to college tape. We'll see, but the one I want to get to lastly before we get to break, division rival that you have in the sheet here, Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I know we're gonna dive into them a little bit later, but
all right.
Should we?
Are we? Are they on there later? Just real quick. All right. We'll
let's do it
real quick.
quick.
This and we'll end it. Just power rank these teams that you have in the sheet right now. That as like.
I got
fear factor.
I got it kind of in order here. I'm starting with the Niners at 1.
Okay.
I think with 7 All-Pros, they've been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they're stacked. So 49ers 1. I'm going Eagles 2. And probably the Packers at 3.
Yeah, you know what? This is definitely already in order.
Yeah, I'm probably going Packers at 3.
I think I'm with you.
Rams 4, Cowboys 5.
Yeah.
That's probably
you
where
could
I'm at.
interchange the Packers and Rams. I wouldn't be mad at it either.
Yeah, I think they're on that like next tier. I think there's a clear top 3.
Yeah.
I think it's the Lions, the 49ers, and the Eagles. That's where I'm at with the NFC.
Absolutely.
But I think the Lions stack up well. Besides the running quarterback thing, we have to see that first.
Well, when we get back, we'll talk to you guys about Amon-Ra taking another leap.
Sun God. Let's go.
But first, somebody got to tell me about Les Stanford.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From
Sports here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Known for their quality, hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Be sure to stop in and try a mega station near you, or go to www.sorokis.com.
What up? Welcome.
I was dropping the clip in.
Oh, you're good. What up? Welcome back to World Heavyweights live on sports.com. I'm Easy, joined by Detroit Mario, a.k.a. Nicholas Kohloff.
Let's go.
Young Chris. Wavy J in the building. Smash that like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share the stream. I'm going to combine these ones. That way we can fit the Pistons topics in, because I know Chris is dying to get to them, and Spinny's only going to cry when we talk about them. Because they kind of go hand in hand, right? Both these conversations about guys that we already perceive as stars or studs in this team taking another level.
Yep.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown and Aiden Hutchinson. But I'm going to let you decide which one you want to speak on first. All right, which one are you more confident in, actually?
All right, that's tough. You got to make me choose between the two best players, two of the top three players on this team.
Because they're already really, really good, right? Like, Amon-Ra's already an all-pro.
All-pro, yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson's already getting his nuts kissed by everybody. Did he hit double digits last year?
Yes.
What 11? 10?
I think it was,
I thought it was 9.
10 and a half and then 9 and a half. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know he has 20 sacks in his first 2 seasons.
So he did hit double digits then?
I believe so, yeah. So let's start out with Hutch then. Let's do it. Aiden Hutchinson, my question I wanted to pose to you guys.
11 and a half, yeah.
Can he hit a top 5 defensive end this year? We have seen it in the past with a lot of elite defensive ends, is in that third season, they take that next step from being a star to a superstar and to be an absolute force off the edge. And I believe Aiden Hutchinson is set up to have that kind of leap this season. You talk about a guy like TJ Watt in his third season, 14 and a half sacks, 14 TFLs. Nick Bosa, 15 and a half sacks, 21 TFLs. And Micah Parsons, 14 sacks, 18 TFLs, all in their third season. Is Hutchinson a guy that's going to flirt with 10 sacks, 11 sacks, 12? Or is he going to get up to that mid-15, 16, even 17 type sacks ceiling that you do need if you want to get to a Super Bowl ultimately? You need an absolute disruptor on that defensive line. Does Hutchinson have a top 5 DN ceiling? And can he do it in his third season?
So he 100% can do it. But I'm not going to sit here and give him all the credit. I think he has been giving you what you want to see out of those type of guys. He's been the only guy doing on this defensive line. So teams have been able to, we broke down the tape again on Thanksgiving Day, triple team. They literally had a center pull on a pass play to come in and block Hutch, help him out at least. What's going to help unlock him this year is the same recipe that's going to unlock Lee McNeil, and it's that man, DJ Reader.
DJ Reader.
Listen, there's a guy over there in Cincinnati on a contract year, and Cincinnati notoriously doesn't pay their players.
Yep.
But he wants out. He wants to be traded. I'm talking about Trey Hendrickson.
Yep.
You want to know why? Because in a contract year, he don't have the piece to help him cook. He's missing that ingredient this year going into a contract year. So he knows he may not be eating as much as he used to, as much as he's going comfort to without DJ Reader.
I would bet that he doesn't.
And I feel like, and I could be making a stretch here, maybe, but I feel like that's part of the reason why he wants out. He wants to be in a better situation where he can go have a good year, then get paid, whatever it is. Aiden Hutchinson has that ingredient on this defensive line now in DJ Reader. And so as much as Aiden Hutchinson is, he's already good. I want to say great, but I already know there's a couple haters out there like, well, pressures aren't sacks. Cool, but he's seeing these triple teams, these double teams that a lot of guys, they see him, but not on the same occasion that Hutch sees him because he's the only threat in this defensive line outside of Aleem McNeil, who was just coming to last year. But DJ Reader's going to open up this opportunity for Aiden Hutchinson, and yeah, I can see him having as high as, this will sound crazy, maybe because I have a seltzer knocked back to me, but I can see 17. I don't think 17's crazy. I really don't.
I'm right there
it sounds crazy to say, but he's at 11.5. You got DJ Reader this line. Go and get it, Hutch.
Yeah, to your point, you talked about Trey Hendrickson. I would like to think that Aiden Hutchinson is much more talented. He has a pedigree coming out of college more. And I think if Trey Hendrickson can put up 17.5 sacks, that Aiden Hutchinson's lined up to have a 16-sack season, maybe 17 TFLs, just being an absolute force in the backfield. And you know a guy who also had 16 sacks while also being on the same line as DJ Reader?
Who that?
JJ Watt.
Wow.
So you think about DJ Reader being able to help out this whole entire defensive line, but specifically Hutch, because he will finally be able to get a one-on-one, a lot more one-on-ones for that matter. And I think if he's one-on-one with a tackle, he's winning that over a 50% clip. In my eyes, I believe Aiden Hutchinson's that kind of player. You took him in the top 3 for a reason. Shout out the Jaguars for letting him slip to you. Talk about a great guy on the field and off the field. That's a guy you want to build around, and I think he takes that next step to becoming an absolute star. And easy. On the defensive line, you have to have a disruptor to win a Super Bowl. You think about the past 2 teams. You think about Chris Jones in the middle for Kansas City, and before that, you think about Aaron Donald for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They just take over games. They get pressures on the quarterback. And when you are in that type of game, you're going up against the best of the best quarterbacks. How do you get them off track? Pressure from the defensive line and an upgraded secondary. And that's why I think Aiden Hutchinson's going to absolutely eat in his 3rd season in the NFL.
Arguably, you could say that both those guys you mentioned closed out those games. Aaron Donald definitely closed out that game against Joe Burrow. And then I know with the OT, but remember in the red zone situation where Chris Jones was rushing Brock Purdy and he floated a wide open pass above Brandon Ayuk, that would have helped win the game. That's a great point, Nick. He also made another great point, and I know a lot of people might have skipped over this, but I believe Hutch, I don't remember which one it was. No, it definitely was a Green Light podcast. I think it was. But Hutch has, I didn't know. I didn't put the two together between J.J. Watt and DJ Reader. That's a great thing you bring up because that's who Aiden Hutch has been in contact with this offseason, working with, getting advice from. And who better to get advice from a guy who's really played next to that man?
Hall of Famer.
Who's unlocked situations for other people too.
I was going to also say to your point of 17 sacks. Hutch, I think if we are correct, he had 11. I think that's the number I remember.
Yes, sir. 11.5.
Yeah, 11.5. And he had a lot of pressures, and a lot of times I watched him get back there very close to a sack or be miss a sack even. Times where he got his hand on a miss a sack. So we could easily see 17, 18 if those sacks that he got the pressure but just wasn't there because he had to beat 2 dudes. Now he's only facing 1, or the ones where he was running around trying to chase a dude for so long and he got tired and just slipped off of him. See those turn into sacks. Yeah, we could definitely see Hutch being top 5 this year. He definitely has the talent, the skill set, and the intangible. So,
and I've talked about it before too. Like watching him, it doesn't feel like he has that bend like other guys do. If that makes sense.
No, I get what you're saying. He kind of almost too big. He's
not 6'7".
He's not nimble.
Yes. But he talked about it recently, and he said, and this is this week, I believe, or last week, whenever he was at the podium after the mini camp, that he does feel a lot more loose this season. He feels like his body's kind of been broken into making that turn around the edge. I had to find a clip, maybe play for you on Monday, or maybe I'll put it on Twitter at some point tonight. Follow your boy, @SpeedSports_. But no, I think it's fair to expect a big season from Hutch. Absolutely. The one where we'll get to, I guess, at the break because we're up against it, but Amon-Ra, I think you guys might be surprised to hear my answer. But first, Nick, where do you get your mustache trimmed?
Oh, the best place to get it trimmed at. It's Lady Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in and sit back and relax and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? clothes, then you should be wearing Woodward sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends, impress your boss, impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
I'm kidding. Well, give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. Family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com. Shout out Frank.
Who's Frank?
Franklin, my dog.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just giving a little shout out. Shout out Franklin.
Hey, shout out Mello.
Hey, he's getting up there.
Mello's getting up there too.
Yeah.
He's kind of chubby too.
Yeah. But let's talk about something good. Something sunny, I'd say.
Something sunny.
Like Sunny God.
The Sunny God.
Or is it a
Sunny
Sun God?
The Sun God. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra.
All right. You asked, can Amon-Ra take another step in his career? We're talking about a guy who was an all-pro, yards after catch leader last year.
Yep.
4 yards away from being another year previously. Amon-Ra taking another step in his career. I'm actually curious to hear your take on this one first.
My question was, can Amon-Ra St. Brown touch a Cooper Cup 2021 Super Bowl type season with the targets?
All right.
That are obviously that's one of the best seasons ever by a wide receiver.
It is the best season ever.
Okay, I'm saying, can he take a step in that direction, Easy? And the reason why I say this is because Josh Reynolds had 64 targets that he will not be getting in a Detroit Lions uniform this season.
Nope.
Who is Jared Goff's number one option, Mr. Reliable, over the middle, getting open, absolutely cooking anybody that's on him, just like a guy in LA used to do?
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Absolutely dominates. Super reliable. Great hands. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, is going to take
beautiful hands, yeah.
The strongest hands you'll ever see.
Some say he could be a hand model. I said, well, that guy could be a hand model.
Congratulations, you just got off.
That was fire, actually.
That was actually really good. I don't think that he's going to have a Cooper Kupp type season, but this is what it looked like. 191 targets, 145 receptions, 1,947 yards, and 16 touchdowns. Absolute dominance all the way to the Super Bowl.
Triple Crown season.
Amen. Do you think Amon-Ra St. Brown, he got 164 targets last season. Do you think that number can get up to 191 like Cooper Kupp's in 2021? I'll start with that with you, Easy.
So to be honest with you.
Honest
with you. Last year, Josh Reynolds had 40 receptions.
I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth.
Hey. Why you got? Hey, I might have to tell you some truth, but maybe there is some truth on your side of things too. Because like last year, Josh Reynolds had 40 receptions, and if you're looking at like Amon-Ra and J-Mo taking on that bulk of responsibilities, that splits evenly 20-20, which means what Amon-Ra had what last year?
164 targets.
119 receptions. So 140. Cooper Kupp had 145. You're getting up there, and you're also talking about the Yak King. As much as I want to say you sound crazy, if you're splitting up those 40 receptions, you could make sense of it. You really could. I just think, and I don't want this to turn to like a Goff or a Stafford thing, but I just think with Matthew Stafford, I hope everyone just knows about it. He's different. He's just different with that at times. Like
he's a gunslinger.
Yeah, the way his ability just to fucking sling it right into your arms is different than what we have here. It's also different because Stafford's able to just go to a Cooper Kupp, or Puka Nacua again and again and again because he's just so nice with it at times. Where our offense is I think a strength of it is the fact that we're more versatile. Like you look at this offense, we have multiple weapons to whoop your ass with. A death by 1,000 cuts. We talk about it all the time. We're hyping up this team, and Jamison Williams now part of that conversation too. At least we expect to be. But Jamison Williams, I'll start there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, as we're talking about right now. Sam Laporta, who had like arguably the second best season for a rookie tight end. Jahmyr Gibbs, that we're talking about taking a step up in the receiving game specifically, and some of us are talking about calling him a top 5 running back. You got Dave Montgomery too, and obviously still you have Antoine Green, DPJ, and whoever may work his way to that wide receiver 3 spot. I just wouldn't. I don't know, man. I think it's a tough break to make, but I could definitely see him doing more.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's just again, our offense more so death by 1,000 cuts. For Stafford, we saw it here. He just goes to his favorite guy time after time, at a time after time, at a time at a time, because he has that type of ball placement at times.
Yeah, I think obviously the Cooper Kupp season is a massive stretch because that was one of the best wide receiver seasons we've ever seen.
He was about to break Calvin's record.
Yeah, that's crazy. And
Extra game though. But yeah.
I think with St. Brown, the biggest thing, I think if you give him 25% of those targets that went to Josh Reynolds, he'll be at 180 targets. And with him putting up 1,515 yards receiving last season, I think he can get up to 1,700, maybe a couple more touchdowns this season. And I think that is taking a next step from being a second-team All-Pro to maybe being a first-team All-Pro next season. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think he was first-team All-Pro.
Was he first?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bad.
Yeah, put
Shout
some
out
respect on his name.
Yeah, all right.
First-team All-Pro.
Well, let's
Amon-Ra
run it
St.
back.
Brown.
1,700 yards receiving, I think he can hit next season. That's why I think he will take another step. Because, and we know this, it's another offense or another year in the offense of Ben Johnson and Jared Goff even more comfortable. They get better on the audibles. You know, different mismatches every single time. He's going to pick that apart, and that's why I think he will hit another level this season. I'm curious to see what the booth is thinking here, Chris. What are you thinking about St. Brown taking a next step?
Why do you go to the white guy first?
I don't.
I was going
that was crazy. But I appreciate it. I appreciate
That's crazy,
my brother. But
back on the bus, Chris.
What's that?
What?
What'd you say?
Seltzer's deep. What?
Yeah. See, sometimes those slick comments miss me. So, my thing is that I wanted to say when it comes to this is the Gibbs thing. We all expect Gibbs to take this massive jump, and I think that with the budding star that Gibbs is, I think you're going to lean more into that this season. I think you're going to lean more into the run game, and I don't think that means that can Amon-Ra's production go up? Certainly, especially when Goff is shown to take time to build chemistry with receivers. So whether it is Antoine Green or DPJ, whoever it ends up being, it will take time for Goff to develop that chemistry. But Gibbs, not only running the ball, but remember, he was talked about as a weapon. I said this yesterday's show, and I'm saying it again today. He was talked about as a weapon, so somebody that can get more receiving targets. That's where I think he can really thrive and take his game to another level. So I don't say this as a doubt to Amon-Ra's ability or skill or development. I think he will be a better player this year, whether the numbers say it or not. I think he's still at that point in his career where he's peaking. He's not at his peak yet.
He's just already a dog.
So, yeah, he's just already a dog, and I think that
the only level to go up, I mean, he's already called the sun god, but the only level to go up from where he's at now is God mode. You know what I'm saying?
Which is that Cooper Kupp season.
Which is that's a lot.
But I just don't think it's gonna happen because I think the emergence of Gibbs, like two things can't be true, Nick. You can't have Amon-Ra doing a Cooper Kupp season and Gibbs is a top 5 MVP candidate. That's not happening. Not in the same offense.
I was just say that's the point I was going to get at. Like, if Amon-Ra was to have a Cooper Kupp type season like that, I would actually look at that as a concern for our team because that would mean we were having to rely a lot on passing. And then 2, that would show me that maybe J-Mo didn't come on as the way we thought he would have. So Amon-Ra had to still pick up that slack missing from J-Mo not being as productive. Or maybe it would have meant Gibbs is not being productive. Or it maybe mean we playing behind a lot and we just having to keep slinging it. So I was actually going to say almost the opposite. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing a dip from probably the 1,500 to probably about 13 if that means in favor of like J-Mo gets like 1,000 yards receiving, and then you look up and Gibbs got like 500 receiving, and then probably got like another 1,000 rushing. something like that would be like something I would be cool with, seeing him drop down from that 1,500.
Which, by the way, if I'm not reading too much for minicamp, and I'm talking about slowing down in springtime here, but like when I'm reading these blurbs, when I'm reading these articles about what's going on, how many times have I said Jameson Williams on these last minute drives?
A lot,
right? So, but the other part, yeah, it's just this offense is just too good, if that makes sense. And I'm glad that everyone's on the same page, because I was scared, because I know how much I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm Amon-Ra St. Brown simp. I know the backlash I get for JG. I didn't expect everyone to, and I'm talking about the chat mainly, not you guys, to like kind of be on the same page with the common sense of it all. But yeah,
to be quite honest, he missed a game last season. I think the dude can break 1,700 yards. I think he gets better consistently. I think his rapport with Jared Goff is absolutely elite.
Yeah,
I think he's just the epitome of consistency. Yeah. Every single time the dude takes the field, he's going to burn. If you put a safety on him, cornerback, doesn't even matter who's on him, double teamed or not. This guy's going to take advantage. And I think in his 4th season in the NFL, after getting paid, you're not going to see him take a step back. You're going to see him take a step forward to help this offense remain elite. And I think in the same sense, Chris, I think Gibbs is still going to be extremely explosive coming out of the backfield as well. You guys all make great points that you don't want to see us throwing the ball that much. But I think if you have that mismatch, Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown are going to be the ones to exploit it consistently, and I think that's why he can even hit another level.
And to be honest, Nick, you're not even crazy for saying that, because
no, not at all.
Last year they tried getting Josh Reynolds as many targets and catches he could get to hit his bonus in the last game, and Amon-Ra St. Brown accidentally got 144 yards in the process. Like, he is just that good. So
wasn't that the game where he had like a 72-yard
that bomb
run?
Yeah. It's like I can't say you're crazy. I just don't see it happening. But 16, 15, like I see him hitting 15 again.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see him going above 1,500.
Because he's also the yak god.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Like it's not just like he's gonna take these passes, and he's like a running back out there in some sense.
Yeah.
He's played running back for us. So I mean, I don't think it happens, but I also don't think you're crazy. God, Amon-Ra's so good.
Yeah,
we are so blessed with this fucking team, man.
That's why I wanted to bring.
I got me feeling good about. I love this fucking team.
It's funny that you brought up Amon-Ra play running back, because I tweeted out that after that game, because that was a Seahawks game that season. We were so terrible. I literally said, "God, the Lions are terrible, but thank God we have Amon-Ra St. Brown."
I swear, man.
That was like the only bright spot from that season, and it's crazy to just see the point that we at now.
Last year, throughout the season, averaged 6 yards per carry. Just saying, only 4 of those things, but. That's pretty nice.
Talking about carries and wide receivers, I better see Jameson Williams with at least like 25 carries this season.
25 is steep.
I'm saying at least 1 to 2 a game. That's where I'm at with it. 25.
That's the brilliance of this fucking offense now, is that he's done that end around. He's actually been lethal with the end around enough where
he averaging like 50.
When you see him pull that, because remember he did it against the Saints.
Yeah.
He obviously did it against the in the playoff game against the 49ers.
Bears 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Where he should have had the tutty.
Did he do it against the Vikings too? Oh, no. I'm thinking about the Bears one. Or no.
Yeah, the Bears one is where he misread it. He had a touchdown, but he didn't. He made a bad read.
But the nastiness about Ben Johnson is that he knows that's a threat now, right? And defensive coordinator should know it's a threat now as well. Like, he's going to run J-Mo in that same scenario, same formation. And what's going to happen is Porter's going to be wide open on the other side of the field. Gibbs gonna be wide open.
Yes, dude. I was thinking, you bring J-Mo around on the reverse, and then Gibbs goes the other way on a wheel route over the shoulder.
My God.
Oh my gosh. Make sure to get Gibbs early in fantasy drafts, everybody.
Real quick, I want to see.
Dude's gonna be
what J-Mo's averaging per carry. Just take a guess.
I would have to put over
36 yards. That's my guess.
That's steep.
Too much.
I said 25.
25.
Microwave.
Yeah.
Clear out.
Nick. Clear out.
J-Mo, first team All-Pro.
Just kidding. 17. 17.3, which is still insane.
He must have had one blow up for negative then.
No,
that's
right. He didn't look. He had a decent amount that got blown up for like.
To be fair, that's only his regular season. Let me see what his. Well, we only had one 42-yard attempt. I'll do the math during break.
Yep.
We do have to go to break. When we get back, we'll tell you some more about the Detroit. Actually, no. Talk about another Detroit team and some breaking speculation per Chris Pistofferson. But first, let me tell you guys about KDK Law, all right? They're right here in Birmingham, Michigan, the best dealing with divorce, child custody. visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10+ years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. I'll say it again. Say the heavyweights and Woodward Sports sent you, and they will pay your filing fee. Usually lawyers trying to get that money up off you. They're paying your filing fee if you tell them we sent you. That's KDK Law. They got your back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Let me tell you about the best dispensary in town. Well, sit down. All right, let me tell you a story about Dispo Dispensary. They're the best in the game. They're your local cannabis plug. They have 6 locations and more across the great state of Michigan. They got the best deals, the best bud tenders, and the best atmospheres. Dispo Dispensary. Visit disposhops.com. Must be 21 up and older to participate. Or visit disposhops.com for Dispo Dash delivered right to your door. It's Dispo Dash, your local campus plug. Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm easy, joined by Detroit Mario.
Let's go, baby. Kicking your weekend off right with the heavyweights. Lots of Lions talk, and Chris has some fire loaded in the chamber.
Let's go. Chris, they're telling us the audio's low. That's my bad. We'll get this thing figured out. Yeah, your mic's messed up. So I'm petty like that. Ha, ha, ha.
And shout out Joel for filling in on the audio for your boys so I can be on the desk tonight.
Shout out Joel. Wavy J, Wavy J-Mo. Hey, by the way, if you guys like Joel, he has a podcast called the Yin Yang Podcast.
Check it out.
And
all right. We talked about Detroit Lions, but we have breaking speculation. Chris, is he unmuted, or is it just something was wrong with his wiring?
What you call it?
Say something.
Am I good?
You're good.
You're good. Okay,
You're good.
Cool.
All right. What is the breaking
How we gonna do a
speculation?
segment if I'm mute? Go.
What is this breaking news, Chris?
So this breaking news is that the Pistons are open to exploring options beyond Monty Williams, which is something that we touched on yesterday, right? But the interesting detail is, if they were to move on from Monty Williams, they named 3 candidates that they would look at. And that kind of tells me that they're more serious about moving on from Monty than we think.
Let's go.
So the 3 candidates are, and they should be very familiar names: Chris Quinn.
I feel like I heard that somewhere.
Oh. James Borrego.
I heard that somewhere.
And JJ Redick. All 3 of which we talked about on yesterday's show. So, boys, if that's the case, because I'm not off base in the fact of you wouldn't put that information out if you're kind of leaning towards getting rid of Monty. Like, you wouldn't put out, hey, if they go that way, these are the guys. It seems like it's a lot more credible that Monty and the Pistons split than we thought 48 hours ago, right?
Yeah. Wow, Chris, you hit it yesterday with the Chris Quinn talk.
I mean,
that
I'm
was
telling you, man,
great.
He's definitely the best candidate.
Great call by you. The one that stands out to me, I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. JJ Redick.
Of course.
It's a big name.
That's a good thing.
Great shooter. Probably
He's not
good shooter.
shooting for us.
I don't know. I like JJ Redick. I think he does a great job. He's got a great basketball mind. Obviously, I think he commands respect. He's been through the ringer when you talk about a guy in college. He's persevered through a lot of dark times. I like JJ Redick. I honestly do. I mean, Chris Quinn, it probably makes the most sense when you talk about his past being with Eric Spoelstra. But I guess what stands out to you, Easy?
Chris Quinn.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, JJ, if it happens, I will have this franchise.
No.
Tom Gores has been so abusive to this franchise and this fan base. And I'm part of the fan base, too, by the way. That, like, JJ Redick just feels like the time to let J. Cole try out for the team. Like, it just felt like, oh, I saw this on TV. I mean, that's what the Monty hiring was, right? It was the simple mind. It was very simple-minded. And that's what the JJ Redick hiring, to me, would be. I don't want to discredit JJ, but Chris Quinn, in my mind, is clearly like the candidate. Like through the way he came up as the videotape coordinator, the way he came up through Eric Spoelstra, the way he actually also former player. Like don't discount him. That white boy can hoop as well. Chris Quinn, to me, hands down, is the best candidate, and I just love to hear that. And the same piece that you're talking about that announced this, by the way, also said that Monty has like allegedly been out as early as March. They already like had in mind dumping this guy, even before Trajan laid down addition.
Well,
so
I mean, we had those conversations in like October when they were losing games.
By the way, there's the same piece, by the way, and this is from Nick Hinkle actually on he changed his name of the podcast to like
I like the old one.
What do you call it? But the Pistons were so bad that he changed the name of the podcast. It was like the Coping Hour. That's what it's called now.
Wow.
But he also, in that same mentioned that there's people inside the organization that thought Monty was actively trying to get fired. What have I been saying?
Yeah.
This entire season.
You start Killian Hayes 30-plus times, I think you are actively trying to get fired.
You start an all-bench lineup on the worst roster in the fucking league.
Yeah.
You're actively trying to get fired.
Bro,
you are in close games in the fourth quarter. You're like, yeah, you know what? All right. All you garbage-ass motherfuckers, we need you to come in and close this one out. What the fuck? Like, what do we do? Like, Monty, again, I said that.
What the fuck?
I feel like he was actually trying to get fired because these head coach contracts are guaranteed.
And I echoed all of those points. Like you do not have the worst record in the league and the largest rotation. Those two things do not correlate at all.
Ooh.
Like if you have one of the worst rosters, arguably the worst roster, you are not playing the most players because the end of your roster is terrible. Is the bottom of the NBA barrel, which I don't want to completely disrespect because again, NBA players are like, the 1% of basketball, the less than 1%. But in the grand scheme of things, not good players. To me, the JJ Redick one is the one that scares me because that feels like the Gores and maybe by proxy Tellum influence. Because you know what Gores has done consistently is he's made the splash hire every single time. He got Stan Van Gundy, the coach of the year, and gave him the president job. He got Dwayne Casey, coach of the year. He got Monty, coach of the year. Like, he goes for the name rather than everything else. And JJ Redick has been the hottest coaching candidate in the NBA because of his podcast with LeBron. So, like, I think Chris Quinn is the right choice, but do I have the JJ Redick part scares me because that feels like the short list of candidates. It feels like you're still kind of appeasing to Gores and his mentality of go out there and get the best.
Chris, my question:
biggest,
JJ too rich to want to come to Detroit. By the way, like
I was just about to say that. Like JJ Redick has lived. I think he lived currently in like New York now or something like that. He's not trying to come to Detroit.
Chris, my question to you is: do you believe JJ has a great basketball mind?
I do, but I also believe that Chris Quinn, a former player with that studied and was the right-hand man of the inarguable best coach in the NBA for years. I don't see why that wouldn't be the go-to candidate versus a guy who we've seen it. There's a lot of great basketball players that become coaches, and not a lot of them do great.
True.
Not a lot of them do great. So this is nothing against JJ Redick. This is not me down. This is just looking at these candidates objective, removing the name, the the sexy hire that JJ Redick could be. And like your point, Jay, about the idea of JJ making money and not wanting to come here. Well, you know what? Tom Gores has continuously done. He broke the bank for Monty. Would it surprise you if he breaks the bank again for JJ? Like,
no,
he's literally on some Godfather shit. I'll give you an offer you can't refuse. Like, that's what Tom Gores does. So
I would say that. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
I would say that signing more so feels like just another one of those just doing something just to do something.
Exactly.
Signings. Like, it just feels like that. Like, because I've been watching JJ Redick podcast since like he first started doing it.
Yeah.
He's
That's
never
phenomenal.
Great
once
podcast.
said,
Yeah.
I have intentions on coaching. I want to be a coach. I just looked up one day that somebody on the media was like, or people started saying, "Oh, JJ Redick could be a good team for a good coach for such and such team. Some teams should think about bringing JJ Redick on the coaching staff." And now all of a sudden it's just, all right, F it, JJ Redick gonna be our head coach. I think you gotta go through like, even if he was a player, I feel you have to go through like some type of ranks first. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
granted, I don't think Jason Kidd started off as a assistant or anything, but it's like,
he was
Jason
a point though.
that's what I was just about to say. Jason Kidd was a
certain
point guard and
places, too.
played 15 years, so it's like you're the on-court coach at that point.
Yeah.
JJ Redick was just a
Shooter.
spot-up shooter
Coming
like,
off screens.
Granted, he, like you say, he knows the game. It's just
it intrigues me. That's what I'll say. I definitely think after you.
Well, Nick, you can't go wrong with these three candidates. You know?
Yeah, Nick loves. Nick loves
shut
for a different reason.
the front door, buddy.
But I have to say this to say real quick too, because like I think we see this in football and maybe and actually in basketball too. I feel like the best coaches come from some of the worst players, and what I mean by that is the guys that couldn't make it, the guys that couldn't be Kobe, the guys that couldn't be Jordan, because they had to be more studious of the game to be active and be effective in the game. They study the game a lot more than obviously the superstars. They go out there and do whatever the hell they want. You see it in football. Dan Campbell played football, but played obviously for Detroit Lions. Wasn't a great tight end. Bill Belichick used to be a cornerback, believe it or not. Became the best head coach of all time. Doc Rivers, he had some time, but he wasn't like an all-time great or anything like that.
Greg Popovich,
Stevens. Phil, I can't think. Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson moved.
Yeah.
The best coaches come from some of the worst players.
Exactly.
Not worse.
And
that's a bad. I don't want to.
Another example to go off that is Patrick Ewing has been in the coaching circuit for 2 decades and hasn't gotten a head coaching job.
How about the guy who came in this building and signed my head?
Yeah, Jerry
Stackhouse.
Talk about a guy that went to his alma mater. I mean, this is college, but Juwan was a fucking dumpster fire down in Michigan.
Coaches.
Yeah, that's
oh
a
my
great
God, that was just. He burnt that program to the ground. I'm so excited for Dusty May.
And then the other piece of this too, I think Dusty May is going to be phenomenal, by the way. And that's as a Michigan State fan. The other piece of this too is like you mentioned JJ Redick, Nick, as a great basketball mind, and I think we all kind of agree. Like, but the other piece of it, he's also just got a great mind. Like he exited
intelligent.
A lot of athletes leave their sport, respect the sport, and go broke. Right? This guy left, used his name and platform while it was still kind of hot to start a podcast, branched off to another podcast, went on ESPN. Now he's announcing the NBA Finals games. Who would leave those situations where he's actively making money to come to an organization like this with Tom Gores as the owner? Right?
You're making
he's
more.
been in the NBA though, and he knows like if he wants to have a respectful name as an NBA head coach. And we talked about you need talent and other pieces to get it done. You're not coming to Detroit with Tom Gores as your owner to make that statement. That's not where you're going to build your resume.
It does to keep it close to
I
home.
don't think he'd be making more.
No, I think he would off of a coach. Maybe not.
saw
I
him
don't know
have
what
a
he's making at
BMW
ESPN, but to
ad.
bring it home to Detroit here, it kind of is a Ben Johnson type of thing, right? Where he's kind of JJ Redick has kind of become the belle of the ball. Like I feel like he can pick his opportunity.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you pick Tom Gores? Why would you pair yourself with Tom Gores?
I agree.
When he's only been related to ruining a franchise that you can say what you want out of the state, but this is a storied franchise in the NBA.
But
we're
Gores
the only
can just
ones to win
up at
3
$60 million.
championships in the NBA history.
And think about the other cooks in the kitchen. Arntel and his son. I wouldn't want to go to that organization either right now. And just a name in the chat, DNC ENT says Steve Kerr. Great shooter.
What do you mean? He's
just like maybe a comparison.
Obviously,
he had great shooter, played basketball, great shooter.
Also, Monty
Obviously,
Williams
a lot of
signed the
success.
highest paid NBA head coaching contract of all time. It only capped out at $13 million. You tell me JJ's not doing that on a network like ABC, also making YouTube money. Mr. Beast is fucking giving away $1 million.
No, that's why I'm gonna say that YouTube money is crazy. Like I said, I was watching a video earlier. He got an ad from BMW. Like he's putting in real ad money. Like, he put in the ESPN money, and with all these TV deals they keep getting, like, I don't think coaching is going to be enough to lure him back in.
Also, did you not see him say he's going to call it Shams after the season?
Yeah.
What?
So he hinted towards like calling out Shams because he was heavily favored to land the Lakers job, and obviously it didn't happen. And Shams, I'm assuming, was the one to report it if he's talking about calling him out. So maybe he's not even like he's taking these interviews because it's something he is interested in, like you said. But again, a guy like him with his prestige, with his name, exactly, preparing for these interviews. Like it's a practice run of interviews.
Yep.
To know what you did wrong, what you did right in the last one, and then he's gonna be able to choose where he goes. He's played in this league, bro. He's not gonna pair himself with a shitty roster. No due respect, I love our Pistons too, but he's not gonna pair himself with a shitty roster. And also, again, playing in the league, having experience, also not gonna pair himself with a shitty owner like Tom Gores.
Buried. Yeah. I think everybody is on the same page though. We want Monty out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, confirmed. And Chris, big fan of Chris Quinn.
Yes, tell us where to work out.
I like him as well. If you are working out, make sure it's at Planet Fitness. It's the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, and there are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Are you tired of the same old Detroit sports
merch?
Hit up woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today and get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all of that guaranteed to turn heads. Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some brand new merch.
Damn, Chris, maybe we're not going to get to the tender one because I forgot this came out. I sent a graphic on my way here in Slack. Did you grab that?
I grabbed everything.
Let's go.
We'll speak on everything. We will go over. I'm down to go over. Speed's one always trying to rush out.
Yeah, it's Friday. I'm feeling good.
No recording. I'm not going.
Feeling good.
Record's not till like 12.
No, it's at 8, and it's a half-hour drive, and I gotta eat.
I gotta eat. Damn, Chris,
that's crazy. Hey guys, make sure you apply on woodwardsports.com for a new TD position.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got an opening.
Shout out all the chat for watching.
Yes.
Second time on the desk up here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Comment after the show. Make sure you guys get it going. Get the algorithm bumping, pushing it out.
We have to get this out there.
Let's see it.
Put it up.
Yeah.
I saw this in the weigh-in. Blew my mind. I really still don't know how to feel about it. Bring him home. Tayshaun Prince cut off because Chris sucks. Tayshaun Prince has to throw his hat in the ring as a candidate to become Detroit Pistons' new GM.
Boom.
I want it.
He's currently an executive with the Grizzlies.
I'm in.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm in. I trust him.
Tells me what I decided to.
I'm in. I mean, obviously, does he have any pull? I feel like any guy that we bring in, it comes down to the same question. Is he running it, or is it Arntellum running this organization? That's where I'm at with every guy we bring in. But a guy like Prince, I think he has credibility. He won a championship here, obviously.
Yeah.
He knows what it takes to build an actual team compared to individuals.
Yeah.
Emphasis on team.
Yep.
He was a massive piece when locking up wing defenders, being just a great team glue guy. Like he was, I wouldn't say the missing piece because that was Rasheed, but he was a massive piece for all like
part for sure.
I would say Tayshaun was definitely like that. unsung missing link.
Yeah, definitely a little underrated for what he did.
We talk about just how different the game is today, and when we talk about guys who's gonna we talk the 2017 Warriors versus 04 Pistons came up. Tayshaun was who you're putting on KD. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
and Tayshaun,
but he'll check him.
When you look up the 04 championship, who was guarding Kobe? Tayshaun Prince. But either way, I think you brought up a great point, Nick, is the fact that he knows how to do it through the team way.
Yeah,
and to tie this into last night's finals game, and I wanted to make this point yesterday, but we just kind of didn't get to it because we were trying to squeeze the Pistons in there. The Celtics play team ball. That's why, like, who's going to be the MVP on that side if they end up winning the chip? It's up for debate because they play team ball. Rip, if you go look at the numbers in the finals, Rip had just as good numbers, maybe I think even more better numbers than Chauncey in that one too.
He had more points.
More points, yeah. But again, still team effort.
Mm-hmm.
If Tayshaun can recreate that magic, and it's truly magical because you never really see those things. It really is like the number one NBA player, top 5 NBA player, and it's cast around him. But I'm not opposed to it, to be honest with you. I'm really not.
I'm not either. I like him as someone that's a cook in the kitchen because ultimately, you know, this guy has experience in the front office, and like you said, you brought up a great point, Nick, about the specific team that he built. But we did see, to counter that, we did kind of see devil's advocate. We did see that be a little bit of Joe Dumars' downfall later in his career, where he built up a great team, a one-of-one team.
I would walked into it though. I'm not gonna lie.
I would kill.
He could not recreate that at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
and then he brought in pieces that weren't even team players, like AI.
Right, but think about how success works. Like once you have it, you get very comfortable and confident in that realm, and you continue to operate in that realm because that's where you.
But I feel like Joe was just throwing shit against the wall every single time.
He was at the very end, but before that, you could tell because remember, he didn't try.
I feel like Rashidi got just for the fuck of it, and it worked out.
No,
he's like, this is a really good player on the market here. Fuck it, let me go get him.
Thank God he did.
I want to give him a little bit more credit than that when it comes to this team, but the post that it was, remember, he wasn't going after the top flight free agents. He was like, I don't want to get one star. I would rather get Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva. I'd rather get two solid guys.
My ears are bleeding.
That was his downfall. So that could be, to play devil's advocate to Tayshaun Prince, that could be, you know, something that works against him. But no, this is a guy that I think obviously knows basketball, has paid his dues, like we talked about with Chris Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
I think him being somebody in the kitchen would work because the one thing we know about Trajan right now, we're still trying to figure him out, but the one thing we know is that he is somebody that relies on communication, and he is very much everybody does their part here. So my question would be, what does Tayshaun do? And that's what I have to reach out to people and see what I can get on that. Like, what was Tayshaun's specialty? Was he a guy that was just really good at evaluating players' talent? Was he a cap guy? What was he? You know, like, that's what you need to find out because what was the guy we brought in earlier this week? The guy we brought in earlier this week is known for, you know, handling contracts. He's not a trade guy, but he's very good in the contract ballpark. So, you know, it's about finding that group of guys that each bring that specific talent, just like the great organization the Lions are right now. They have guys that do specific things. So,
and former players doing specific things. Chris Spielman came in to hire former player Dan Campbell. But I want to spin this a little bit further too, just because like one of my biggest fears as a Pistons fan, just an observer of what's been going on and this fucking collapse of a franchise, is Tom Gores and Arm Tellem are clearly kind of running the show. And they're overextending themselves when they feel like they need to make decisions, like you said, with the Dwayne Casey hire, Stan Van Gundy hire, obviously the Monty hire. Tayshaun, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, because you guys are a little bit younger than me, but remember when Tayshaun got traded back to Detroit?
Yep.
And like I remember being happy. Like my heart was warm. I was like, oh, sweet. And he was pissed off about it. He was mad about being back to Detroit. He felt disrespected. He voiced it. He's always been a guy to hold his own. Like he's not one to like, I guess, eat shit for like the sake of it, right? Like he's gonna stand his ground and speak his opinion no matter what. But like, why would you know, like that's such a homecoming moment to capitalize on for him. He's like, no, I'm pissed off about being back in Detroit. Matter of fact, I think it's one of the reasons he's headed towards retirement. However, that's not a guy that I could see Tom Gores or Arm Tellem pushing around. or a guy that's willing to take a job where it's going to be Arm Tellum and Tom Gore's pushing him around.
True.
So I think if a hiring like that is made, it's also a guy's going to make decisions on his own merit and on his own evaluations, and obviously in collaboration with Trajan Lejean, who's ultimately the guy hiring him. Well, hopefully, we hope that's the guy hiring him, not.
Yeah, I'm in for it. I mean, we've seen it go poorly, like you guys said with Joe Dumars. You know, it kind of spoiled the relationship with the Pistons when you think about him now, because he did build the great 04 team, but then, I mean, ultimately ran this team into the gutter after trading Chauncey Billups for Allen Iverson. He completely broke that up, and now his name's kind of tarnished a little bit in Detroit, Joe Dumars, for that stint and for doing that. I don't want to see the same thing happen with Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah. Also, not in 2K anymore. Like, he stands his ground. He's one of those guys that's gonna, like, he stands on principle.
Which I'm thrilled about, and I think that's a guy that we need in this front office that actually gets shit done and has credibility, unlike a bunch of, you know.
Like I said, it all comes down to It all comes down to what his role will be. Like, what is his specialty? How has he risen in the ranks? Is it because of drafting? Is it because of professional scouting of the players around the league saying trade this guy, trade that guy? Remember, Memphis has had a very, very stellar track record of drafting recently. You know, they're like you got Ja, which wasn't necessarily consensus at the time, was probably, an easier choice than not, but wasn't consensus. Then you have Desmond Bane. You have Jaren Jackson Jr. Like, these guys have developed into real players. Think about the recent pickups of Gigi Jackson. Like, this Memphis front office has been amazing at finding talent in the draft. And I think if that's his skill set, I would love for him to be here. But again, there's multiple cooks in the kitchen. He might not be the scout guy. He might be something else. So it all depends on what he brings and does it fit.
Real quick on...
Also, guy worked his way to that vice president title, too, because he wasn't hired in as such in 2017.
Yeah, he was hired in as a special consultant, essentially. A special assistant.
Real quick, talking about Gigi Jackson here, do you guys regret taking Sasser, a 23-year-old small guard, over a guy like Gigi Jackson, who was the youngest guy in the draft?
No, because I don't
not at all.
Gigi Jackson, was he even drafted? I thought he was undrafted.
No, he was
second
drafted.
round.
He was drafted in the second round.
Gigi. I didn't even know that was an option, so I ain't even tripping over that.
I liked him coming out. I thought the upside was there.
That's another situation too. Where, like, what the Grizzlies finished with this year? Was it record? I don't know the number, but
what, the Grizzlies? It was bad.
Right, so like,
he was just getting garbage time.
Yes, I remember Greg Monroe. You go look at his stats. This is the years with the Pistons. He put up numbers, but he was the best player on a bad team. I've always felt that way. You can go off on a tangent, and I'm also drinking, so I'm gonna go longer. But the white dude who helped LeBron with a chip in Cleveland.
Zaldrudas Ilgauskas.
Deladova.
No. Power forward.
Ilgauskas.
Mozgov.
No.
Kevin Verjao.
Kevin Love.
Good player.
I was thinking of the bums.
That's why I'm like, wait, what?
Good player. But what was he? Like, he was with the Grizzlies or with the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
He was a guy, best player on a bad team, so the numbers were overinflated a little bit. Once he got put on the same team as LeBron, he kind of faded away a little bit there.
But if that's the case, we didn't have a player putting up no crazy stats on our bad team. So it's like, you could say this player is a player,
but they weren't even
like great stats on a bad team. But it's like you have to be a great player to put up great stats on a bad team.
I mean, Kevin Love was the example.
You would think Kevin Love was great? That's crazy.
No, I'm telling you, he's not. He wasn't
Kevin Love
great.
is going to the Hall of Fame for sure. For a fact, Kevin Love.
Whoa, Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, he won a chip.
He was putting up numbers out in Timberwolves before.
Crazy numbers for the majority of his career.
Let me see. I'm gonna just real quick before we go to break. I'm gonna pull up the stats for shit.
It was a good 7-8 year run that he had as.
That's what I'm saying. Then that and then to cap it with a ring. It's like based off how they do it.
To be honest,
he had a solid career at UCLA too. Like
they weren't even crazy like that. Let me see. His best year
more so was the crazy
with the Wolves
that he gave.
Yeah,
26 and 13, which isn't like crazy.
That's
really
dog,
good.
though.
26.
I mean, 26 and 13 is elite.
I'd take 26 and 13.
But I feel like this role guys give you 26.
Though. That's almost every night, though.
And that was back in the day before.
But also the only
blew
guy.
up.
Because then LeBron goes away, and then it's Kevin Love's team
Rubio.
with Ty Lue, who's a good coach. Talent wins an NBA.
Yeah.
And he ain't doing dick. You're in the lottery.
Wait, who?
Just like the Timberwolves in the lottery. Did they ever make the playoffs with Kevin Love as the number one option in the Timberwolves?
I don't even know
who
they
the
got
second
close one
option on
year.
his team
I think they were
was.
40 and 42 one year. I think they were like right there.
No, yeah, they used to be close to it, but the West was too stacked.
Yeah.
Fellas,
that too.
I know we're on
really good player. I don't want to say
We're on Pistons right now. Somebody in the chat said, talk about Cade's contract. Is everyone in lockstep that we are giving him the max?
Him up.
Lock him up.
Lock him up.
Yeah.
Lock him up and throw away the key.
Not even a discussion. What do we do?
I said,
and some of your favorite players, some of you guys that I'm attacking a certain person here, so I shouldn't say you guys, but Dad Tourette's. I know you don't even watch the show anymore. But some of you that Dick Ride, the Blake Griffin trade, he started off with a little bit of injuries too. Joel Embiid, a little bit of injuries too. Like it's Steph Curry. Remember his little ankle issues he had when he first began his career? Like I'm not tripping off that at all.
yeah, I think when it comes to this organization moving forward, I've
LeBron's
said
the
this
anomaly.
before, and I'll say it again. It starts with Cade Cunningham as the guy you are keeping, locking up, and everybody else is on the block. You build around Cade. You make him be as successful as can be. You need spacing. We know that. You need a big-time center that can catch lobs, also help out on defense.
You have that already.
The defensive part, I know Chris is itching to talk about some free agent targets and maybe some
It's a
trade.
Monday thing now.
But yeah, that's bottom line with this organization. You lock in Cade and then go from there, and everybody else trade block.
No, 100%.
And you got to see what fits. My bad, Chris.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's where I'm at. Like honest question around the room. I asked it yesterday. So
Andre Drummond.
How many?
He's the only guy. Sorry.
How many people on this Pistons roster would you keep going into next season? Like who are they? Like let's name them. For
I
me,
would for sure.
one.
Oh, my bad.
Just Cade.
Go Jay.
I would for sure keep K and Duran. Because how you said, we need to find a big man that can catch lobs. We already have that, and Duran has already proven himself as a rebounder.
Yeah, but not
I would like to see him get a little bit better as a defender.
Yeah.
Like in post defender. But
Right
based
there.
off the intangibles that he has and the fact that he's young, I can see him easily becoming that. And with all the improvement that he showed in his second year, I don't see why we shouldn't keep those two as our cornerstone pieces and then build around from there for the rest of the team.
Especially his free throw percentage. That's what stood out to me a lot with Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
He's up to 70% as a center that big. Yeah, that shows flashes of shooting potential. Chris, I know you absolutely hate the defense for a 20-year-old guy in his second season.
Well,
and you know I hate the shooting of
I hate it,
Asar,
but it's definitely not good.
I hate it because so much of defense, what we hear from players is lock in.
Yeah.
And at his end of the year press conference, what did he say? He said he wants to become a more skilled offensive player. Like he's focused on offense because a lot of people are. That's what sells tickets. That's what gets you
paid.
the contract. That's what gets you, exactly. That's what gets you paid. So for me, it's a concern that he won't ever get there defensively. Now, is he super young? Like, yeah, for sure. He's got all the time in the world to fix that habits and lock in, but defense is so much a mentality. So for me, I'm starting to err on the side of caution. Now, I wouldn't get rid of him by any means because I do like the talent. I see the upside, all of that, but I need to see more defensively. For me, it's Cade, it's Asar 2, Duran 3. Those would be the three guys I for sure. Oh, and Fontecchio, I would keep him not as like a cornerstone, but just keep him as a player, considering what he'll probably get in free agency, which isn't that much. Like that's a guy you keep, and from there, everything else is open trade season for me. Everything else.
Luka, when he made the Western Conference Finals, and obviously out in the finals now, but like it was kind of like what you want to build. What I want to build around Cade is get him shooters. Look at the Boston Celtics. You got 5 guys that can consistently knock down a 3. Get Cade that.
Yeah, that guy. Just real quick on Simon Fontecchio. He's a lockdown or knockdown shooter.
Yeah.
Like I love Fontecchio on this team. Like he underrated athleticism as well.
Cold ass white boy out there.
Underrated athleticism,
dude. Italian.
Dude's got
fettuccine for a month.
He's got sneaky athleticism, if I'd say so.
Yeah, he's I like Fontecchio. Definitely a piece you want to keep, especially you got Cade in this team.
Yep.
But we're up against it. You want to close the show on an ad read? Do we have those to get to still?
Yeah, we just have one that we need to knock out.
Everybody, comment your least favorite part of the show and let us know what your favorite part was after the show.
Well, yeah, you should have started with favorite part.
I know, I was just fucking around.
You emphasize your least. What is wrong with you?
Leave all of the hate. No, I'm kidding. Everybody comment your favorite part of the show. Is Sun God going to take a leap? Is Aiden Hutchinson bound for a top 5 defensive end year? Are the Pistons finally making the right moves and getting rid of Monty Williams?
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Hell yeah.
Tell us about Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm. You know Guardian Alarm. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and let us know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
Call 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Detroit Mario sent you.
Real quick, if you guys thought Detroit Mario did a great job filling in for Spinny, make sure you guys give him a follow. That's at Tailgate Wins. Or just type in Detroit Mario on Twitter.
Shout out.
X. If you think Wavy J is an up-and-comer, and he's doing a great job, too. He's also got a podcast as well, the Ying A Podcast. Are you on Twitter?
What you call? No, I don't be on Twitter. I be on Instagram more than anything.
Just looking at big booty hoes.
Damn near. No.
No hesitation.
Confession of a real one.
Bro,
also,
it's the algorithm. I don't control it.
Algorithm goes on what you be looking at. Also, give my guy Chris Platte, the real Chris Platte, a follow.
Yes,
smash that like button. Support these guys throughout their careers.
Podcast tomorrow.
Hey, summer's coming up too, guys. Obviously, no football's king. Send in topic ideas. Whether it's football, whether it's basketball.
It's dog days for sure.
Dog days are coming up. We want to go off what you guys want to hear about. So just hit us up. Again, follow us. At Speed Sports _ at Tailgate Wins, at The Real Chris Platte, at Big Booty Watcher. What is your
Instagram? Follow
Instagram?
me. It's Wavy J with 5 Y's in the wavy part.
Wavy J.
There you go.
You heard it. And if you guys like Detroit Lions content, check out the Tailgate Wins on YouTube. It's interviewing people at tailgates, getting the best Detroit content that you can be when you're going for man on the streets type content. Check it out. Tailgate Wins. Give me a
Also,
sub.
if you're looking for a vehicle, hit up your boy. And you know someone looking for a vehicle. Have them hit up your boy, and I'll pay you $50 with a referral purchase.
It's easy, baby.
At Speaky Sports, Woodward Heavyweights, we out. Will you add some, Chris?